So where did you back on Hollywood Walk of Fame this morning?
I've been accosted.
Being accosted by somebody trying to send me a tour bus. When did you want your picture taken, incidentally?
You want to go to the toilet?
Not at the moment, thanks a lot. Sarah's just walked all over her.
Somebody I know.
See how different this is this time. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Double things. That's weird. Just about to set off on a Hollywood bus tour. Absolute manic. Oscars are taking place this Sunday. It's Wednesday today, and yeah. We'll see what we see as we go along.
Alrighty, can you guys hear me back there?
Yeah.
We're good? So let me know, sometimes it does get really noisy out here, so let me know if you need me to be a little bit louder, because that is super easy. So welcome to Hollywood, everybody.
Thank you.
I am Megan. I am your 2-hour hostess with Mostess. Who's ready for a good time?
Yay!
Yeah, let's get out of here. So you can see everything's a little cuckoos in our area with road closures, and then for some unknown reason they decided to make curb in front of our office. Are a lot of stars for you guys to walk around and see. Now the way somebody gets a star is that they are nominated. First, have you guys seen these cars coming up right here on the left? The Waymos?
Yeah, we.
Self-driving cars. Anybody brave enough?
Yes, we've done it 3 times.
You are very
But
brave.
it was in San Francisco.
You're even braver than I was like, those hills?
Oh no, yeah, that's what scared me. I thought I was going to go backwards.
Right? I'd be like, no, thank you. Would you? Obviously, you liked him if you did.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm a no.
Right.
I'm a hard no on those, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But yeah, the way somebody gets a star is that they are nominated. So they would be nominated by movie studio, TV studio, record company, something like that. Once they get nominated, they need to get approved. Once they get approved, they can get a star. Now, some people don't want to wait to get approved, so they nominate themselves. Now, they still have to go through the same approval process. The only difference is if they get approved, they can buy their own star, which runs about $65,000. That's how you know somebody really wants a star.
Yeah.
It's a really big ego. Now, right here on the right, this is the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. This was the site of the first Academy Awards. 3 categories, 15 minutes, $2 to get in. So you can see a little bit different from today's Oscars. Now, Marilyn Monroe was a long-term guest here, and it is said that she is still at the hotel. So if you want to try to go, right? So if you want to try to see Miss Monroe, that's where you would go. So what I tell everybody, usually we go straight, but obviously we can't. So on the left is Ann's Chinese Theater. That is where all the handprints and footprints of the celebrities are. It's also where about 90% of the Hollywood premieres happen. Then if you keep walking on the left, you'll see the Dolby Theater where the Oscars are. Then walk further down on the left and you'll see Ovation. It's a huge outdoor shopping area. If you walk to the second catwalk, you will go and see the perfect picture of the Hollywood see it on the tour. It is just off to the side and we're moving. So that is your perfect picture down there. So we start in Hollywood, go up through the Hollywood Hills, down into Beverly Hills, back up through West Hollywood, and then back to Hollywood. I love it when you guys talk to me, ask me questions, tell me stories. If you need recommendations for anything, food, places to go, let me know and I will. Restaurant 1 and 2 with Whoopi Goldberg, and they are in pre-production for. So it is the Hollywood Methodist Church. It is an actual church. They do services, they do everything a regular church would do. The only difference is they rent it out for Hollywood Bustours, which would seem very odd if this was not Hollywood. Now the way that they will change it up, because you can't, in my opinion, have the Godfather Church and the Sister Act Church be the same church, because that would be a little bit weird. So what they do is they'll change up lighting, landscaping, signs, little Hollywood magic, and we have a whole new chat. This is the famous Hollywood Bowl. It was built in the mid-1940s, and it is an outdoor concert venue. It is usually on every musician's bucket list to play. So it has hosted everybody from the Doors to the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Elton John, Diana Ross, My Chemical Romance is coming, Rod Stewart, John Mellencamp, everybody happens on Mulholland Drive. Movies, TV, video games, videos. It's named in a bunch of songs. Mulholland Drive is a famous road. If we took it around for about 25 miles, about an hour or so, we would end up in Malibu. So it really runs the length of the city. Now, Mulholland has really brave enough to go into a stone house. Just because we have earthquakes here does not mean that they are actually some of the safest homes out here, which I know sounds ridiculous, but they really are. So here's going to be another view of downtown LA. It's a little bit hazy today. Now on this straightaway, you will get your pictures of the Hollywood sign. So the Hollywood sign was built in 1923 for a real estate development called Hollywood Land. So start looking to the left all the way up, and there she is. So once they built the Hollywood Land sign, it wasn't built to last. So in 1944, the city council took over the sign and made it a Hollywood sign. Then in 1977, we had a huge windstorm that pretty much demolished the sign. So Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy, went to the city council and said, my rich friends and I are going to help you rebuild the sign. So they started adopting letters. Each letter went for $27,777, close to $1 million per letter in today's money. Here is, so each letter of the sign stands about 4 stories high, about 12 meters, 35 feet across, and they are made out of corrugated steel. So they are not going anywhere. And if they do, I suggest you move, because that's what it is. So now we're coming around on the left. You're going to look down into the canyon, and you're going to see a house down there. Can you guys see it? That used to be Katy Perry's house. This is where Katy was living when she met Orlando Bloom. You can see it's not super private because we can look down onto the house. Now those gates right there on the left, those are the only gates in and out of the property. And then straight ahead is Runyon Canyon, which is one of our most popular hiking trails. So you can see there are always people around here. So Katy and Orlando decided they wanted some privacy. So they ended up selling. Katy sold the house for about $28 million. Not terrible. And they moved an hour and a half north of here to a small town called Montecito, where they've got neighbors like to be left alone. Now, any Bruno Mars fans? So right here on the right, oh, house is open. So that used to be Bruno's house. Now, as you saw, those huge windows in front. When Bruno bought it, it didn't have the gates up. And he was mad people were living in his house. Well, Bruno, you bought a glass house for Bruno hated us van drivers coming by. Well, Bruno, you also bought on the van route. So these are the two Bruno issues. So now the next house I want you to look at is the first house. It is actually one huge property. So it almost looks like two homes. That is one complete house. Now, this used to belong to Jennifer Lewis and Mark Anthony. This is actually the house that they got married on. So here's going to be another view of it right there. So they got married on the property. Then we know what happened. They got married. They had kids. They got divorced. Sold the property. Then they sold it to Gwen Stubb, where you're going to find some Hollywood history. So coming up, what we're going to do is we're going to make a left on this street called Heather Road. So like I said, on a very small street, there's a lot happening. So right here on the left, this corner house is a gorgeous house. Like if somebody said, hey Megan, want a house? I'd be like, sure do. Now, I will tell you, this is the worst house on the block. So this is the worst house. Imagine what is happening. Okay, so let me figure it out. We'll figure out what is happening here. But it's a gorgeous house, right? Like imagine if that's the worst. Now, coming up right here on the right, this gate right here, this is where the dog is going to eat you in 2.8 seconds, right? So, you can see they're filming up there, and I'll tell you why, because there is a big celebrity who lives on this street. Now, this is the guest gate. This is where the guests come in. This is where everything good happens. So you can see it's marked guest. It's a much fancier gate. So that's the main house. Then if you start looking to the back, to the right, that is the guest house back there. So it is a massive piece of property. So let's see. So there is a big star who has been in the news recently. That is why they're filming. So let me show you this house first. I need a minute to get by here. So I'm assuming that the guy right there, that this is like one of the Hollywood TV shows, like TV magazine shows. So coming up, okay, so this is a TV magazine show. So this gate right here, is not my house. So right there, so they're here. So we'll come back down. Now usually I don't tell everybody right away, but there's film crews here. So I don't know if you guys know that there was a shooting at Rihanna's.
Yeah.
So that's why they're still here. So Rihanna, ASAP Rocky, and the kids were here. So thankfully they caught the lady who did it, and she has 14 counts against her, where she could go, I heard last night, she could go for life. And so that's why they're still here. So she, even before this happened, she does have private armed security there. So she does have the nicest security guards. So the way to tell it's a celebrity house. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the gate there's like white tape, and that's where I'm assuming the bullets went through, because they did go through the gate, because she did have an assault weapon. So that's a bit much.
I'll have to look for that. On the way down, I've seen the bullet. See the bullet. See the bullet horse.
Right? Hey, welcome to LA. Just look at the bullet horse.
Yeah.
What's a picture of it? It's just bullet holes.
Right? Now, if you want to see her estate, if you Google Rihanna Heather Road, especially now, you'll see the estate. It is gorgeous. So that's going to be coming up on the right, where they are tree trimming.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can you see where the masking tape is? Like we've got an hour bath at home.
It's going to sell the property now. It's very public. It's out there to be in the house. So this happened over the weekend. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. Must have been Sunday. And she flew out of town, like right away. And she flew out on Monday. So I'm sure it'll be a while before she comes back. Now coming up on the left, right here, this used to belong to Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. So he lived here mid-70s to very early 80s. Now, whenever you have a conversation about rock and roll, it doesn't really get bigger than a Rolling Stone. But on this street, it does. Now, this estate right here on the right, this was the last estate of Elvis, Priscilla, and Lisa Marie Presley as a family. So this is where the Presleys were living when they decided to get divorced. So Priscilla got the divorce, or Priscilla got the estate in the divorce. So that's the main house. Now after the divorce, Elvis had moved back to Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, which was the family house. And that is why he passed away a couple years later. Now Priscilla sold this house a couple years after the divorce. So main house, so it is a huge double lot. Now when the Presleys lived here, there used to be 2 other homes and a movie theater on the property. I don't know if they're still there though. But that's how it was when the Presleys lived here. Now, do you guys all know that Lisa Marie Presley and Michael Jackson were married?
Yeah.
So it was a very strange, very weird little marriage. So if you look to the left up there, you see the wooden door with the glass panels? That is the primary bedroom where Michael Jackson passed away. This was the estate that Michael was leasing to get ready for his final tour called This Is It, and he died June 25th, 2009. So he was leasing this for about $100,000 a month from 2008 to 2009. And what Michael liked is that it is very private and very well secured. So once you're on the property, you never see. So right here, you can see how secure it is. There is even a gate over the garage. And that is what Michael liked. So this is called the Carrollwood House. Now, if we kept going straight, that takes us into Hollywood Hills, which is one of LA's most expensive areas. So, like the triangle is Hollywood Hills, Bel Air, and Beverly Hills as far as prices go. Now, right here on the right, this is the gate that led around the world. This is where the ambulance Sunset Boulevard and took Michael to UCLA Hospital less than 10 minutes from here. Now, Michael was pronounced dead at the hospital. He had actually passed away at the house, but because there was so many business happening, they took a very long time to call for help. On Heather Road, you'll be able to see it. Now, I'm obsessed with her pool area, and usually I'm waiting for an invite, but maybe not right now. Like, I think I'm a little good. Now, have any of you been to Beverly Hills yet?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So what I say is, welcome to Beverly Hills. Are you feeling rich and bougie? Because that is what you are if you live here. So there are 2 parts of Beverly Hills. Right now we are in the hills of Beverly Hills. So if we were going to start climbing, the estate start at about 26 million and go up. later we'll go into the flats, which I lovingly call the poor side, because that's where the estates kind of top off at about 20 to 22 million with a couple of exceptions. So if you look up into the hills to the left, those start at about 26 and go up. Now, if you look to the left and you look to the right, the trees are identical. On every street in Beverly Hills, you're going to see matching trees. What you do not see in about 99% of the city, you don't see power lines. Everything is run underground, so it gives you this really beautiful, open, unobstructed view. Now, when they started building Beverly Hills in the early 1920s, it was built for the rich and famous, and that's pretty much who still lives here today. So one of the things that makes Beverly Hills different, other than it is Beverly Hills, is that is just different in itself, are gorgeous little parks that are kind of all over the city. So that is not typical in LA to just have all these really pretty little open green areas. That is very much a Beverly Hills thing. Now, I spent a ton of time growing up in Beverly Hills. Sadly, it was on the Lower side, but that's where my aunt lived when I was growing up. And one of the things that I love about the city is that it hasn't changed very much. There are not a lot of modern estates here. Everything is very classic and very vintage, which I love because that's really what Beverly Hills is. You can see gorgeous homes. And again, beautiful matching trees. So Beverly Hills is known as the city of trees, and I think you guys can really see why. So again, the way to figure out celebrity homes: high walls, fences, gates, lots of cameras, and private armed security. So if you look to the right here, you cannot get higher than this gate. This is the famous director Jerry Bruckheimer's estate. I heard this morning that he is worth $1.9 million. So he does have a lot of private security, and he never wants anybody to see anything ever. Now those guys in the blacked out Cadillac Escalade, those are his private armed drivers that he goes out with. Now, has anybody heard of Floyd Mayweather, the boxer?
Yep.
Okay. So right here on the right, this is Floyd's estate. So when Floyd bought it, he bought it for $27 million, and he paid cash for it. He's like us. He likes to go out with spending money. The only difference is he goes out with $1 million in cash in a duffel bag with a lot of private armed security. Now, December 2024, he put it on the market for $48 million. Completely overpriced. Nobody wanted it. So last summer, he reduced it to $38 million, and he did some upgrades. Nobody wants it. It's so way overpriced. So he's living in Vegas, so I'm sure he definitely wants to get rid of the property. Now, over here on the right, this is the famous Beverly Hills Hotel. These are their bungalows. There are about 23 of them, and they start at about $5,000 a night. Now, last summer while I was doing a tour, that bungalow right in front of us, there was this ginormous man walking out with major jewelry on it. And I was like, oh my God, who is that? That was Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player. He came over, said hi to everybody, got in the van, got a ride to the front of the hotel. Could not have been nicer. So this is a huge celebrity hotel. We've seen Shaq, Mark Wahlberg. So within the next 2 days, I would say a lot of these bungalows will have private armed security because this is where a lot of the people for the Oscars stay. Look, you can see they're moving in the safes. This is for the jewelry that they are getting here. Welcome to what Oscar time looks like. Now this is the main part of the hotel where an average room starts at about $1,200 a night. And I know what you guys are thinking. It is so cheap to stay here. I know, right? They do have some suites that start at about $28,000 a night. So here is the sign for the famous Beverly Hills Hotel. So once we make our turn onto Sunset Boulevard, which is right in front of us, you will get a perfect picture as we make the right turn. Now, Sunset Boulevard is another very long, very famous road, just like Mulholland. So once we make the right, if we kept going straight for about 30 minutes, we would end up in Santa Monica. We're just using this to get to our next little area. On the way back, we'll use it to go through Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, back to Hollywood. Then we could still keep going into East Hollywood, downtown LA, and still keep going. So if you want your perfect picture of the sign, here is famous author Jackie Collins' estate. So Jackie passed away a couple of years ago, and her estate is up for sale for about $65 million. So not terrible. So we've seen 17.8, 38, and now 65. Who's buying and moving here? I take it all of you are. Why wouldn't you? And I have a feeling Rihanna's is going to be up for sale sooner than later also.
She might be open to offers.
Open to offers.
Quick sale.
Right? Ask if you got a discount for the bullet pool.
Yeah.
Now, coming up on the left where all these big hedges are, this is Al Pacino's right here on the left. So Al bought this in 2024, December of 2024, and he bought it for just under $10 million.
Wow, that's quite cheap.
It really is. I think personally he could have done better for $10 million, but that's Al's issue. You can see it is beautiful. Now, in Beverly Hills, for whatever reason, and I do not know, we do not like roundabouts. Every other city, state, country, go with a roundabout, not Beverly Hills. So what we do instead, super genius, is a 6-way stop. So it is very quiet now. Usually there are cars coming at every direction. So how I do it is you start your prayers here, because there are rules that none of us know. And then when you can go, you go.
Just go for it.
You just do. And then you finish your prayers here.
Yeah.
That is how you do a 6-way stop. I knew you guys all wish you had them at home.
It's bad enough doing a 4-way one.
We're very much a dog town, like I said. Now, what do you think? You'll see some expensive retail stores. Yeah. Did everybody see the movie Bridesmaids? Yeah. Okay, so look across the street on the right, where you see Panache Bridal, the blue awnings. This is where they filmed the famous scene. So this is the wedding dress scene, and this was the street where they filmed them having little accidents. Then you can see gorgeous car deals, expensive streets in the world to come shopping on. If you are high-end, very expensive, very exclusive luxury designer, this is where you would want your store to be. We changed the awnings. So look right here. As of Saturday, they had not changed these awnings. I'm so happy. So over here on the right, this is the famous Beverly Wilshire Hotel, also known as the Pretty Woman Hotel. So all the exterior shots for the hotel were done at the Beverly Wilshire. Up until Saturday, the awnings were red and green. So I'm happy to see them back to the purple and gray. Then in the movie, they were green and white. So all exterior shots were done there. Interiors were done at other local luxury hotels or on a sound stage. But the hotel looks identical from when they shot the movie 35 and a half years ago, because it came out in the summer. Then on the left, we've got Fendi. We've got our first Louis Vuitton. Now right here on the right, this little street right here is called Two Rodeo, and that is meant to reflect the shopping street in Paris. Then coming up on the left, this is the brand new door store. It opened about maybe 6 months ago now. They put both Dior stores in there. It's gorgeous, and they opened up a Dior restaurant. And on the right, we've got Table Many down St. Laurent. So from about this St. Laurent store up to the white building right there, the Tom Ford, this was all just purchased a few weeks ago by Hermes for $400 million. So we'll see what Hermes does with it, because all these stores have leases. So we're not quite sure how they're going to get around all that. But could you imagine this little area for $400 million? Then over here on the left, we've got Prada, we've got Gucci, Birch. Now this big white building on the right, this is going to become a flagship Cartier store. Anyhow, so the Christian Dior store on the left, if you saw Pretty Woman, that was the actual store in the Anaheim shopping area. So the first day she walks in the right now. Second day she comes back just a little bit differently. They said yes, and she says, big mistake, huge. And we go shopping now, and she walks straight to the again for about 30 minutes, you'll be at the Santa Monica Pier. So if you go in the middle of the pier, and I don't know how they really figured this out, but in the middle of the pier is either the starting or the finishing point for Route 66. Seems like a weird place considering you can't drive on the pier. So, coming up on the right, now if you listen to the song and follow it around for about 2,000 miles, you will end up in Chicago. Coming up, here's the Route 66 sign. Now, has anybody seen the Beverly Hills sign before today? Because they use it a lot in movies, TV, all of them. Now, if you guys look down a little bit further, that very boring beige building right there, that is the actual police station. Who wants to see that in a movie, especially in Beverly Hills? No, thank you. So we use the Civic Center instead.
This could get your hair feeling. That lovely smell, isn't it? But blossom summer. So yeah, study in the middle of Beverly Hills. coming towards the end of the tour now. Thus far, highly recommended. We paid cash, cost us $70, $35 a piece. Seems to be the going rate really. There we go. So we're just on a 10-minute toilet stop. About an hour and a half into the tour. Must be about half an hour to go. Right. Let's get over to that Beverly Hills and get some pictures.
You want to go up there? I'll take your picture.
So what are you thinking so far of the tour?
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get a see. Yeah.
Get to the side. The sun is
Once again, it seems to be another day that just very weird. And let me zoom in on it. Oh, there we go. Camera action's getting better as we go along.
Arizona, where it's very flat and very cookie cutter. And I was like, okay. So there is actually a lot of Beverly Hills that we can't get into as a tour company because they'll put a weight restriction on the street. So if we get caught, it's about $1,000 fine. So I choose to stay out of those areas. But that's where a lot of like the big money is. Like that's where Beyonce and Jay-Z are. That's where Jeff Bezos is, a lot of sports stars, things like that are in. So the books that we've seen, crazy expensive, but there's even more. Great people watching. Now look to the right again, and this is more of the advertising that we do here. Like this is insane, this type of advertising. And I can literally only imagine how much that costs to advertise there. Now coming up right here on the left, this red and black building on the corner, this is the famous Whiskey A Go-Go. This is the only building ever to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And there is their induction plaque. This was the big club. So it opened in the mid-60s. This is where every big band that has ever come out of LA had to play and play and play and play. In the summer of '66, the band The Doors were the house band there. It's also where go-go dancing got started and how it got its name. Now coming up on the right here, this black building, this is the famous Viper Room. That is the club that Johnny Depp opened in 1993. And it was really for him and his friends to hang out without all of us watching. Sadly, Halloween 1993, that is where we lost the actor River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's older brother. Joaquin passed away on the sidewalk of a drug overdose, so it was a very public passing, and as you can imagine, it was the most exclusive club out here. Then after River passed away, it became very, very different. Johnny ended up selling his shares. 32 and a half years later, it's still the Viper Room, but completely different. Now,
Straight across. Did you enjoy that?
It's very good. I've got to be very
Yeah.
calm.
Yes. So we're just walking up now. Yeah. Paul Newman, Sophie Loren.
So they really want the
Plantations. Jonas Brothers. Yeah, 2,738, I think she said. I think it's over there somewhere. So this is where it starts from this end. If you cross over, towards this, no, not towards me. See, this is the Hollywood Walk of Fame. LAPD, Hollywood, LAPD. And just near to this statue, just to the right, we have the Beatles and Elvis, if you're looking for them. Straight towards me. Getting well set up for the Oscars now. Madame Tussauds just to our left. And just like that, we are the Knots Hotel, Knotsbury Farm. Just do a quick room tour. We've just arrived, got all our stuff in, so you'll have to excuse the mess. Walk in, as you see the door behind me, and just to our left we start with the bathroom. So you've got your sink, toiletries, and on down into the toilet. Plenty of towels up on the shelf. Bath to the left of that. There we go, then back out to the closet facilities. Got your ironing board, hairdryer on the top shelf. Turn it around again, there we go. Safe in the corner of the closet. Iron up on the shelf there as well. And back into the main body of the room. We've got just one single king-size bed in this room. We do have more USB ports than we did have in the last hotel, which was a Garland. That was one thing that we were a little bit short of. But there are some USB ports and electrical sockets side of the bed there. Then there are some under the telly. There we go. And then under there we've got tea making facilities, the usual Keurig coffee making machine, ice bucket, plenty of storage space, fridge to the right with all our supplies already put in there to cool down nicely. This is a pull-out sofa bed, which we won't be utilising this trip. There we go. Nice bit of deco on the walls there. The only thing that is letting this room down that I can see at the moment is the view. Yes, not the most spectacular view we've ever had. Basically straight out onto a wall. Nice balcony if you could get out to it. Air conditioning machine, we've got that running already. Temperatures today is a nice pleasant 78, I think we're on at the moment. Tomorrow it'll be a nice unpleasant 95, and it's a Disneyland day tomorrow. Can't do much about it, we'll just have to make best we can. And then hopefully on Friday we'll be going into Knott's Berry Park itself, and then Saturday morning we'll be up early, and it's about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive across to Las Vegas. Yeah, see how we go from there. But we have found a shopping mall that's about 6 minutes down the road, so Sarah's very excited about that. Another trip to Bath and Body Works.
We're not buying any more stuff.
No, well, no, we are struggling for space in our suitcases. Yes, we're already having to go be canny with what we put in where. I think at this rate we might have to just buy another suitcase and pay the extra, but because we're only finding economy back. We're premium economy here, but economy back. So, right, I'll give you a bit of a tour of the hotel a bit later on. When it quietens down a bit, it is busy here. There seems to be plenty of families here with kids. So I'll, hopefully when it quietens down, we'll get a bit of a vlog of that going as well. See you later. Hey, and we found another mall. Just near to Knott's Berry. It's about a 6-minute drive, but we walked. Buona Park, downtown. Just going to have a look over here. Interesting place. Yeah, all by himself. 2 hands, fresh corn dogs. Vans.
Take a picture.
So this is what we're dealing with. 4 carton chicken piece, like potato and waffle fries, and we're trying the Chick-fil-A sauce. Looks nice. So that's a Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
Sarah thinks it's some cross between honey mustard and barbecue sauce, but it is nice. Chicken. Very nice,
Can you
very
serve that
tender,
one?
succulent.
Can you serve that one?
And sort of like waffly type fries, aren't they? Very nice. Going down a treat.